Christchurch, we want God to make us into a church for the city, loving the whole world. And we think that will happen as we help each other meet Jesus Christ, love his church, and connect with Liverpool. But over the last few months, we've been considering what are the things we actually need to work on to become that church and to participate in that mission. To help you get the second of those things we've been thinking about, let me tell you a true story with names changed. Matt was an asylum seeker who came from a country close to the gospel. He'd had to flee because he'd become a Christian. He used to come round to our house most weeks for tea before the Hub, our small groups ministry. And it was amazing. We got to serve a Christian from that part of the world in that way, to know him, to love him, to study the Bible, and to pray. But when he came to our house for dinner, he also talked to our children about what Christians were going through in his country, understanding and growing their faith as they heard from a Christian who'd been in Afghanistan, and he told them his story. We want to work on having discipleship through diverse community. As a church that meets centrally in the city, we have a unique opportunity to invest in and train and grow people who may only be here for a short time, whether they're here to study, they're here to work from another country or city, or they're here to claim asylum and maybe moved on by the government. That is an amazing opportunity for us to invest in God's mission right where we are because of where our church meets. But that works both ways. My Christian life, your Christian life, our family's life, and your family's life will be richer by having people from different cultures coming to speak the gospel to us before they go somewhere else. We have as much to learn as we do to invest. Every person who passes through leaves us with something, and that's something we get to invest in someone else. That is the blessing of being a church that meets centrally in a city. This can be a tiring ministry, all the coming and going, but it is a unique opportunity we get to be part of, both in terms of investing and learning. Our dream is of someone, let's call him Lee. Imagine Lee coming to the UK from a country that's close to the gospel and not knowing about Jesus, meeting a Christian, coming to church, and coming to trust Christ for himself. Imagine that he grows in his faith, and as he is involved in the church, he teaches insights from his culture that we learn from, insights about honour and shame, insights about respecting your parents, insights about the value of community, things we so often miss out as Western Christians. Imagine he stays here after his degree and does theological training while he lodges with a family from our church. And then imagine that he goes back to plant a church in that country that's officially closed to the gospel, a place where you or I would never get a missionary visa. And imagine that our church and that family pray for him, visit him, and love him for the whole of the rest of their lives. That's what we love. That's why we want to work on discipleship through diverse community.